Hello, Nnamdi is my name, and I am the president of Epicent Tech Communications Company. And what we do really is to help people like you, yes, you, to be able to master how to use words, how to join words, subject, verb, and complement to be able to make sentences, correct sentences that people will listen and understand without really asking what is he saying about or what is he talking about. So the idea is to communicate because it is at the heart of every human activity. Every human activity revolves around communication. Whatever you do, you need to know how to communicate if you really want to succeed. And so that's why I have spent a lot of time learning the tricks, the rules, the regulations governing effective communication. As a linguist, I specialize in English and French. I've spent a lot of time studying these languages and have revolved into applying the rules of languages into communicating, using the power of the language to be able to reach thousands of people effectively. That's the word. And I discovered that in the past, schools around the world spend the time teaching people how to read and write, which is very fantastic because at the essence, schools are there to teach you how to read and write so that you can be able to write effectively. But unfortunately, they don't teach you how to communicate effectively, which to my mind, apart from knowing how to write, speaking is really at the core of any language learning. Speaking or being able to be fluent in the language should be at the core of any learning because as soon as you leave the four walls of the school, people would always ask you, do you know how to speak English or French? Nobody would ever ask you, do you know how to write English or French or any language for that matter? So schools spend their time teaching you how to master writing. Anyway, that's the way they would test you so that they can confirm that you know the language through writing. But the world will test you through speaking. So, see, there are two different things. And I have taken my time to say, hey, I want to focus on the communicative aspect, that is gaining fluency. How do people attain fluency in any language? Let me give you my little example, my own example. When I arrived in France, I wanted to learn French. I wanted to study French language. And so the first people I met told me, listen, if you want to master French language, you need to master the grammar. I spent time to tell you that, studying the grammar, studying French grammar. But what I discovered over time was that I could not speak. I wasn't able to communicate in French. I was able to write. When people speak to me, I understand, but I could not speak to them. And then someone else told me, listen, leave those big books behind and then concentrate on listening. And when I did that, I tell you that, it was a revolution for me. I started speaking French. J'ai commencé à communiquer la langue française. J'ai communiqué à parler la langue française. Ça veut dire, en fait, ma vie a changé énormément parce que j'ai passé mon temps à écouter des gens qui parlaient la langue française. I'm sorry, I was just speaking French there, sorry. So, just to tell you that I spent my time listening to French speakers, and that really opened my eyes to the language. And for me, that's the real essence of learning language, to be able to communicate with it. So, what I'm going to bring for the next couple of weeks is to tell you what you need to do in order to speak fluent French or fluent English, to be able to communicate, because the word communication comes from Latin, which means create a link between you and other people. So how do you create that link if you don't speak? And that's exactly, my friends, what I am going to bring. So please register if you want to really know more about how to master the essence, the rules, the regulation of fluency, speaking. It is at the core of every communication. Until next time, my friends, please keep listening.